The surge of cybercrimes is alarming. Poor cybersecurity hygiene plus an organization's failure to appoint a DPO have contributed to the surge of cybercrime attacks. These organizations fall victim to malicious attachments or tricks that target the weakest link in cybersecurity, their employees. In the second episode of our Cybersecurity Dojo Diaries, we tackle the surging cybersecurity attacks and more. To begin with, ransomware is one of the most common tools for a cybercrime attack. Bad actors usually lock up the organization's essential data and demand a ransom for it to be decrypted or released back. However, there is no assurance that the data lost will be back to its original state upon payment. As an example, let's look at the infamous Wannacry crypto worm incident. Wannacry is the most severe worldwide cyber attack that happened in 2017, which took the world by storm. It encrypted the organization's data and held organizations for ransom to decrypt their own data. What exactly happened? A vulnerability was identified in Microsoft Windows's SMB port. Microsoft's SMB port is essentially the file sharing and printer sharing services that users use in the LAN environment on Windows operating system. By default, these are enabled on the user's desktops, and there is a hardening guide that users utilize to either upgrade to a more secure SMB or disable it and utilize something else. It was a known vulnerability, and it was targeted within days, with more than 230,000 computers infected across 150 countries. Microsoft knew of this vulnerability. In fact, it issued a patch in April of 2017 to mitigate this vulnerability. However, within 2 months of the release, the attack had happened. In the real world, the servers and devices can't be upgraded to the latest patch level because organizations need to test those patches to see if they are not going to interfere with the services they are providing. Hence, these organizations were not completely patched up at any point in time. This was the flaw that sadly took down a lot of organizations. A patch was available, but it was not utilized, and such organizations did not see it as a high-value risk. Suddenly, something happened. Wannacry took place. What happened was that Wannacry cryptoworm encrypted the data and locked the users of their computers. It flashed a message on their screens claiming that their data had been encrypted and demanded them to pay $300 to $600 in Bitcoin to the hackers for the users to be given a decryption key for their data. The hackers chose the Bitcoin transfer so they can remain anonymous. What's the impact of the attack? While the 200,000 to 300,000 computers that were infected are not a lot in terms of a global scale, the services that it affected were huge. For instance, the National Health Services were affected in the UK, and its data were encrypted. Because of this, surgeries of patients were postponed. Moreover, FedEx, Renault, Nissan, and other organizations were compromised, and their production lanes basically shut down for a few days until their backup started to restore and tried to bring everything back to normal. What can we learn from this incident? We can learn from this incident the importance of being updated with the latest security updates to be protected from the vulnerabilities that bad actors may exploit. Individuals and organizations alike must see to it that before dealing with the internet, their machines and devices are shielded from possible attacks that could steal data against them. And that's it for this week's episode. Don't forget to click the like and subscribe button to keep updated on our Cybersecurity Dojo Diaries. See you next week.